All right, we are back here today for some more of these Craigslist spirituality forum posts to talk about my thoughts on some of these. So one of them yesterday that I talked about was someone who said if someone asked you what was the path to get to where you are, what would you tell them? And this person responds to that, say, I actually mentioned this in a different one. Another response to this one, got a few. They say, would you tell them? And these, other than a few wandering stories, they said, which is kind of what I did to you, actually. And usually what I do, because it's so hard to explain the whole story. It says, I've always been extremely reticent to do so, to the point that I have never, despite being asked many times, the way I've always figured it is basically that I never had a teacher. I have no tradition to pass on. All I ever did was put everything into all that I did, and things, in quoting marks, techniques open to me. But I never requested it, at least not of anybody. Perhaps it's time, but who am I to judge, quoting marks again, who and what am I to choose? I have a friend. Who am I to choose what I tell and to whom? Interesting. I think that part of that's kind of maybe avoidant. I don't like that term, but yeah, I mean, I get having not worked with a teacher, because I didn't work with a teacher for the first many years. Does TD Jakes count? It took me a long time, and I guess part of that was that back in the day, you didn't even really have much availability to teachers. So now, like, teachers are all over the internet and you can find them pretty easily, and I value that. But that kind of is part of why I think it's important to share your story, because I think things would have been a lot easier for me a long time ago if I had started off with a teacher. It's like, can you imagine, like, learning to drive without anyone teaching you or whatever, you know what I mean? Definitely helps to have a teacher, I say. And so that being said, I think that when you start off not having a teacher, maybe you have a lot of experience that's valuable. It's like, just because you were never, like, there are people who are, like, so successful that never went to college, or even graduated high school for that matter. Brilliant people. My grandfather was an inventor. He never graduated high school. Like a patented inventor. And so it's a tough thing. And I think that actually, and I might encourage this person to actually think about what maybe they can contribute, because they have operated outside of the paradigms of structured or traditional wisdom. Because I think that has offered to me a lot of experience that maybe otherwise I wouldn't be able to share, because somebody had prevented me from having to learn hard lessons the hardest way. So yeah, that's an interesting thought, huh? Let me know what you think in the comments.